Have you ever heard of the pink tax?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I will give you the internet definition of what the pink tax is. The pink tax is a phenomenon often attributed as a form of gender-based price discrimination, with the name stemming from the observation that many of the products affected are often pink. So, you know when you go to the store and there are products marketed to men and products marketed to women. Razors are notorious for this. You will probably buy the men's razors. I will probably buy the razors marketed to women. We grab our products, we go our separate ways. We just buy them. We don't really pay attention to what you were paying and what I was paying. If we were to take our products, your razors that were marketed for men that you grabbed, and my razors marketed to women that I grabbed, are going to be significantly different prices.
I have a question. So is that because they're intrinsically just people make women's razors higher price, or razors marketed to women a higher price, or is it because of the manufacturing difference?
Okay, so there are a couple factors that play into the gender or the difference in prices for different products for men and women. The first one, I guess, is women are more partial to aesthetics. I'm putting that in quotes because that's just the sort of generalization that is made. I have a few sources. One of them is Psychology Today that says, to the extent that women are partial to a particular feminine scent, a contoured razor edge, or a visually appealing package, savvy marketers are going to introduce such features to women's products and then charge a hefty price because women like aesthetics.
Do you think women buy those products because they like aesthetics, or because they feel like they're pressured to?
I think just the mere fact that if someone identifies as a woman and they're going out and they're shopping for things and there's a product that's marketed to them, it just feels more natural to buy them.
So it's not because they like the aesthetic more, it's because they're marketed towards women.
That can be sort of
so the generalization that women like aesthetics more is not always true.
Yeah, basically. I'd rather go out, before I found out about this, I just grabbed the women's razors because it's a razor. I'm a woman, I got soft skin. Razors for women supposedly are better for my skin, so that's what I grab. But now that I know this, you think I'm buying another woman's razor?
Yeah.
So I'm not giving any facts right now, but I'll give you some facts. I didn't do any research on women's razors in particular, but I wanted to see if this was true. Like, I went ahead and did my own research or did my own math. I opened up Amazon and I searched boys helmet, and I got the first 10 products that were helmets marketed to boys. The price that I got, the average price was $21.36. I went ahead and I searched girls' helmets and did the same thing. First 10 helmets, got the average. The price was $26.48. There's a $5 difference there. And then I thought that maybe it's a coincidence. And I went ahead and I searched Head and Shoulders 2-in-1 shampoo. Very specific.
Right.
And I got the men. I did the first 3 that were marketed to men. $15.75. Then I did the same thing again and put in women. The average price was $20.63.
Oh my god.
It's another $5 difference. So if we keep doing this, I bet you we'll keep seeing a whole $5 difference.
That's the same exact product.
It's the same product, but it's marketed to women. It says on the bottle, oh, it makes your hair shiny, it makes your hair more full, and these are things that women care about more, therefore they'll probably pay more for the product, and that's the reason. So now we know that part of the reason is because women like aesthetics, women like this, women like that, so we'll charge more to it or for it. So another reason that women are charged more for products is a slightly more, I say, logical reason, and it's because, so I'll give you an example. Dry cleaning costs substantially more for women, up to 100% more than if a man were to go in. And it's not because it's a woman, it's because of the product. So men's shirts throughout history have been pretty consistent sizing, consistent in materials like cotton and something else. And they're used to that. So they can make machines that can lower the labor costs and just continue working on the men's clothes. But women's clothing is constantly changing styles, changing sizes, changing in fabrics. And dry cleaning places may even turn a woman's item down because they just can't work on it. So that's one of the reasons why it costs more. And one of the sources I was looking at said, for labor-intensive services, gendered pricing is logical, fair, and the price differences are simply due to cost differences to deliver the service.
Right. Well, that makes sense, except that the problem there is that the women's products are more complex.
There we go.
So it's not the problem of the dry cleaner, it's the problem of the producer.
We're just
who made the clothing.
Overall subjected to more
Right.
expensive things and more inconvenient things for the aesthetics and the niceness of it.
A more broad question. Do you think that this is a problem of manufacturing? Do you think this is a financial problem, like a problem of companies doing this? Or do you think that the problem is deeper than that the companies are just taking advantage of a societal thing? And you think that
Yeah.
the change needs to happen at the societal level?
The latter.
Yeah.
The latter, because again, we feel that pressure to buy the things. We feel that pressure to go in the store and buy those things that are the prettiest. I remember as a child, my mom would try to buy unisex clothes for me and like boys' clothes, and I thought, no, I'm gonna be seen as too masculine for it. I'm not gonna be seen as feminine, and that's so important apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So
manufacturers and companies are just doing what they do. They're just making financial deals that are smart.
Yeah.
The problem is at a more base level.
Yeah.
Because
So
manufacturing costs are different for clothing
basically.
and all that.
So I'm gonna start throwing some numbers at you, just some facts, so you can see the real gravity of how this works. 42, according to Psychology Today and Listen Money Matters, 42% of the time women pay more, 40% of the time it's equal, and 18% of the time men pay more. That's a huge gap. 7% more for toys and accessory, 4% more for children's clothing, 8% more for adults' clothing, 13% more for personal care products. 10%, this that I'm going to start telling you right now goes into a much deeper problem. 10% of African girls miss school during their period because pads, tampons, and other products are taxed as luxury items. I didn't choose to be a woman. I didn't choose to have to. It's definitely not a luxury. There's nothing luxurious about having to go out and buy menstrual products and deal with everything else that it comes with. So that there, I don't understand that one. That's the one I understand the least. But I guess, I don't know. Let's start gender discriminating toilet paper too, I guess. Another one is Viagra and many other erectile dysfunction treatments are covered by insurance, whereas birth control has been an ongoing fight.
Seems like one's more necessary than the other one.
Is it?
Lie.
Yeah. So, those are just a couple of things that play into the fact of the pink tax. Before I started doing my research, I didn't think the pink tax was real. I thought it was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Just people trying to complain about things, but this stuff is real and it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna throw one more thing at you. I don't think we can talk about the pink tax without addressing the gender wage gap. Just like the pink tax, I didn't think that the gender wage gap was real until I started looking at some stuff. And I'll just say what the U.S. Department of Labor has sort of come up with for why women get paid less. And it's not that women doing the same jobs as men get paid less, but the overall average is less because there are less women in executive and high-paying positions. Because throughout history, think about the industrial revolution. Women were funneled into jobs that just overall paid less. And that's what over time it's kind of just stayed that way. Change is slow to happen, if it even happens. That's just the general trend, and that's the reason why women tend to be paid more. Another reason is, I would say, hopefully cut this out if you can help me edit this video, because this part I fucked up. I'm sorry. Opposers to the wage gap say, and I'm going to be read quote word for word. Rob Drury, the executive director at the Association of Christian Financial Advisors, says the wage gap does not exist because women choose family over career for a period. Bottom line, if you place your career objectives ahead of your other life goals, as men predominantly do, you can easily expect to get paid as much as a man doing the same job. If you choose differently, that's on you, and if you choose differently, that's great too. Just expect it to be reflected in your income. And that's a personal choice, not a problem. So, I figured it was really important to address the wage gap, because if women are being paid less and being charged more for things, now that's just an outrageous problem. So, from what we've gathered today is that because women like aesthetics more and have more complicated products, we have to pay more. And some of the ways to avoid this is by looking at the prices and going for the men's option. Pay close attention to those prices. Shop across all stores and brands. That's what one of the websites said. I don't know what that means. And negotiate lower price.
Right, that makes more sense. Negotiating lower price seems like a good option. I feel like shopping in the men's section is adding to the problem, because that's like, well, now we're discrediting women's products because they're more expensive instead of making them less expensive. And I think that's a different problem. I think that women failing to address that their products are more expensive is part of the problem. And I feel like a lot of women do shop in the men's section
Because it's cheaper.
Right, and that doesn't help the problem at all.
Yep. But boycotting works.
It does, and so does speaking out against it and all that, and so does educating, obviously, like talking about this with people and explaining what your point is and giving facts. And if people don't want to listen, then people don't want to listen, but that's not your problem.
And it'll cost more in their pocket.